Hey y'all. So this is part 2 of attach versus weld. Okay. So I did July and I did Doris. So let me see if you can see my mat here. I'm using a blue mat today because it doesn't take a whole lot of pressure for what I just put out. So that's my July and that's my Doris. So when you take your vinyl off of the mat, you're just going to cut out around the area. And I can see this really good. It's not like glitter vinyl. Glitter vinyl, may the Lord be with you. Okay, so you can see that better now. So now you see my Doris and you should be able to see my July. So I'm going to cut between the two. Then I have this little Valentine glass that I bought from Walmart, maybe Dollar Tree for $1. Don't remember, never used it. So I thought it's perfect for this project for me to show you the difference between attach versus weld. So remember, July is attached. So I'm going to take my weeder and I'm just going to get right in the corner. Let's try to see if I can do this without poking myself so that I show you at the same time. All right, so I'm just going to take my weeder and pull away the excess vinyl. Let me turn it around this way. Just pull away the excess vinyl like that. So this is attach. Okay, just like that. So that's July. So I'm not going to have to cut off the J and put it on, cut off the U, put it on. You're not manually putting this on, guys. You're manually putting it on, but you're going to manually do it as one word, July, okay? The next thing you're going to need is transfer tape. Transfer tape does not come with your vinyl. Now, Cricut has gotten smarter and started including some transfer tape with some of the removable and permanent vinyl. Of course, they're charging you for it, but you're just going to take a little piece of transfer tape. Just cut off what you need. I don't need this whole roll here. So I'm just going to cut off what I need of the transfer tape. And you can tell it's transfer tape because it's going to be clear. You can see straight through it. It says Cricut on it, and it does say transfer tape. I've kind of cut it so you can see that it does say transfer tape. Now, there's two kinds. There is a, it's kind of like a regular transfer tape, and then there's the strong grip. This is the strong grip. So if you're using glitter vinyl, you probably need strong grip. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this again because I didn't cut it too big. And I'm just going to peel away the shiny side of the transfer tape. And try not to poke myself as I show you at the same time, because this tool right here, him don't play. this man right here, him don't play. Him will stick you really bad. Okay, so I'm just going to peel off the clear side of the transfer tape, and then I'm going to stick it right on top of July. Okay, just like that. Okay, so this is my transfer tape, this is my vinyl, and then my Cricut backing is in the back. Now I'm going to use this brayer, and all I'm going to do is just take the brayer and roll it down on top of the transfer tape. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to get the transfer tape to pick up the vinyl and leave the paper backing behind so that I'll have July on my transfer tape, and then I can throw this paper backing in the trash, okay? So I'm just gonna put it down and roll my brayer across it like I was showing you. Or you could even use the spatula. The spatula works the same way. You just take the spatula and you press down on the transfer tape like that, applying a little pressure. And what I like to do is I do it from the front side, then I flip it over, and I also do it on the back side. Now, I don't need all that for this because trust me. Then you're going to pull up the vinyl backing and you're going to be left behind with the July on the transfer tape. You see, I didn't have to separate the J, the U, the L, the Y. Okay, so July is now on my transfer tape. And I'm going to take it as a whole. I'm just going to put it on my glass here. And I'm actually going to put it right here so I have enough room for my other. So I just push it down just like that onto my glass. And then I'm going to use those same tools, just going to use my spatula and just press down on the letters to get it off of the transfer tape. Now I'm using strong grip, so it may give me a little bit of a, job here to get it off, but we'll see. So I'm just peeling off the transfer tape. And if you're peeling off and you see some of the letters or your images staying behind, you just get your spatula and you start pressing again to get it to stay down. Okay, so my L is coming up, so I'm just going to take my finger and push it back down. So I'm pulling everything. And now I can take this and put it back on the little backing for the transfer tape and use it again. And there's July. Okay, that is using Attach, guys. I did not have to do each letter individually. And I think that's what scares people, is because they automatically hear, oh, you got to weld it together. No, you do not. If you want the look of the weld with just one continuous word, then yes, you weld. But I wouldn't use weld on a print font. And that's because it's not going to look right. So you do want to use cursive and cursive letters anytime. Cursive letters, you want to use that font when you're using weld. So this is attach, and that's the process for attaching letters or words to an item. Now I'm going to show you what weld Doris look like. So same process. I'm just going to grab it on the end here just to lift up the vinyl and try not to stick my finger. That's the goal. And it's super easy, guys. It's super easy to do. Don't let these machines intimidate you. So the same process, I'm just pulling away the excess vinyl, okay? So I'm gonna watch what I'm doing so I don't mess up here. Alrighty. Doris, notice that I is all by itself because it wasn't attached to anything. That's the same thing that will happen if you don't have your letters touching and you use weld. It's all going to cut out individually, okay? So I'm just going to weed out the inside of the O and the S. And now I have Doris all touching one continuous word. And then the only thing that's separate is the dot over my I because it wasn't touching anything, okay? All I'm going to do is use that same transfer tape that I just used. And I'm going to take that transfer tape and plop it right down on top of Doris. Just like that, okay? You're gonna use the same process, taking my spatula, and I'm just getting the vinyl off of the Cricut paper backing so that Doris is on my transfer tape now. So I'm just going to do the back side. All right, so now I'm going to attempt to lift. And like I said, if you attempt to lift and it doesn't all come off as one, just start pressing it again. So now you can see I have Doris on there, no issues, just like Attach. And I'm going to take it and stick it right on that glass. And this is not going to be perfect, y'all, because I'm just doing this as an example, just to give you an idea of the difference between Attach versus weld, because I see that a lot with people feeling like they have to use Attach, but you really don't. I mean, weld, but you really don't. You can attach it, and it's It's the same process. It's just one is going to be a continuous word and one is going to take all your letters and put them on with spaces in between. All right, so I'm using my spatula to get my Doris on. And now I'm going to lift up the transfer tape. And it's going to leave Doris behind. And one of the things that I do want to point out is anytime you're working like this, guys, you always want to use alcohol to clean the item that you're putting the vinyl on, because it removes all impurities and it helps the vinyl to stick better. So you always want to clean that item with alcohol. I didn't on this go round because I'm probably going to pull this vinyl off this glass anyway. I just wanted to use it for demonstrative purposes. And so that little dot over the I is kind of being a boogaboo here. So what I'm going to do is use this to hold it down as I pull the transfer tape so that I can get it off this baby. So give me 1 second. There we go. All right, so now got most of it. And it's going to pull down on the top of that I. And there you have it. That is weld. Okay, so it's just one continuous word, no spaces in between your letters. That's weld. You do see that the I, the top of the I, the top of the top of the I can't even talk this morning. The top of the I is going to cut out by itself, guys, because it's not attached to anything. Okay, and then that is attached. Have spaces in between each letter. That's the difference between weld and attach. Process is the same. You saw me do it. Now you know the difference between using attach versus weld. Always take your transfer tape and put it right back on what you just took it off of, and you use it again. Okay, don't throw this away because it's stuck to my mat. Because you can use it again, guys. Okay, so that I wanted to help my group to understand the difference between the two so that no one is telling you differently or giving you the runaround about, oh, you have to use weld. You don't have to use weld. Weld is a preference. That's the way you want to look at it. If you want all your letters touching and that you like that look, then you do weld, but you do have to use a cursive font. You cannot use a print, okay? And you want to make sure that when you start moving these letters together, that they don't overlap. Because if they overlap, then your cutting machine is going to cut that overlap and it's going to separate those letters. Okay, so it won't be a clean cut like you see here. You see that's clean with no cuts in between the words. Okay, the only thing was the little dot over the I. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about the difference between attach versus weld, based on what you saw here today, then reach out and let me know. As always, in this group, we each one teach one so that we can all be great. All right. All right, guys, have a great day and we'll chat soon. Bye.